Man, I think with everything, hindsight is 2020. And getting my start as an investor here in Northern Colorado in real estate, sure do wish that I would have had the foresight to know what the hell Timnath, Colorado is going to do. If you guys hadn't just watched our Living in Timnath, Colorado, go check that out. But for today's video, we are going to talk to you about the pros and cons of living in Timnath, Colorado. And my last pro and last con are definitely something kind of that are both unique, but hopefully you guys enjoy these. So again, today's video, pros and cons living in Timnath, Colorado. What's up, everybody? My name is Soukup with Soukup Real Estate Services here in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I'm not gonna bore you with the intro today. So let's just jump in to today's living in Timnath, Colorado pros and cons. Enjoy. So what we've done in previous videos is we've listed all of our pros or we've listed all of our cons and then jumped to the other. Today, we're gonna list a pro, list a con. So you can kind of do a comparison side by side. And one of the things that people tend to always want when they're moving here to Northern Colorado is a view of the mountains. Now, if you live in Fort Collins, you can absolutely get some views. They might be a little congested because of trees or houses that are close to each other, but if you get that right house with that right viewpoint, Fort Collins has some phenomenal views. Actually, I just walked one of my favorite houses that out the front patio or the front living room, there was just this huge bay window and it was on South Ridge Greens and it just had one of the best views of the mountains that I've seen in Fort Collins. But one thing that you could take into consideration is if you move a little bit further east, you get a wider view of the mountains in Timnath, Colorado. Now, depending on what's going to be built behind you, because there is so much building, that is one thing to take into consideration is maybe those views get altered or blocked. So that's something that you got to take into consideration. But I would say one of the biggest pros of moving to Timnath, Colorado is generally, depending on your backyard or front yard, a wider view of the mountains. So there's the pro number one. Now, if you're gonna move east of I-25, depending on where you're going, specifically Timnath, Colorado, well, in Timnath, Colorado, expect little to no commercial opportunities. You are a bedroom community. So you're gonna drive up to Windsor, maybe to Fort Collins. Timnath does have a few opportunities to grab chicken and donuts, or maybe a beer, or just a few other small options. Otherwise, you're gonna be making your way to Fort Collins or Windsor. So con number one is little to no commercial opportunities. All right, pro number two. Well, pretty much everything in Timnath, Colorado, as we spoke about in living in Timnath, the median aged homes sold over the last 248 homes was 2020. So everything is new. New, and new. Bethke Elementary, brand new. Timnath Middle High School coming in brand new, fall of 2022. Pretty much all of your neighbors, all of your commercial, all brand new. Now, infrastructure can be very well installed, built. That's definitely one thing that you are going to benefit from is the quality and technology of construction. But that's one thing that con number two is going to jump into is there's just little to no character. Now, Timnath, Colorado does have an Old Town Timnath, with Timnath Elementary there, and it was built in the late 1800s or founded, it was a homestead. So there is a little bit of character in those homes, but it's a tiny little main street strip. Otherwise, there's just gonna be sharp corners, modern build, dove gray till you get sick to your stomach. So pretty much everything is gonna be built 2007 and beyond, but probably even closer to 2020 based off of what we're seeing. So everything is brand new elementaries, commercial, beautiful, not gross, well-maintained, built, but little to no character. Pro number three, besides 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., there's really not gonna be too much traffic. That's one thing that's been amazing in Fort Collins for many, many years, really since I've grown up, but there is a fair amount of more traffic. Now, When you're driving within Timnath, there are very few stoplights. So 3 Bell, Timnath Ranch, Club Lane, Harmony Road, Main Street, when you get to Costco, but there's just not too many stoplights. I suspect there will be more and more as we come. So if you're not having to drive at 8 a.m. or 5 p.m., getting to different places is really pretty quick. Jump on a main road, hit 1 or maybe 2 stoplights, and you're there. So you get a haul ass. You know, if you need to get somewhere to Fort Collins, you can get really from Timnath, Colorado on the east side over by Harmony Club, Harmony Ridge, which is actually Windsor, Colorado, all the way to the west side on Shields and Harmony, really in about 15 minutes. So moving is from east to west is really pretty quick, and moving within Timnath is pretty fast. So besides 5 a.m. and 8 p.m., it's a pretty slow, low traffic. Now, which leads me into con number 3. There is traffic. Timnath, Colorado, it's only got 6,500 people, but there's only one main artery, and that's Harmony Road going east and west. So if you are having to drive at 8 a.m. or 5 p.m., if you are driving west at 8 a.m., expect some traffic. You are going to be backed up, so you got to build that into your schedule. And vice versa, if you're coming back home to Timnath, Colorado at 5 p.m. and driving east on Harmony, well, you could be backed up for a couple miles. And that Costco, Walmart kind of intersection on Harmony Road is busy. People love Costco. I'm one of them. My mom's boyfriend loves Costco. And before I had a membership, I didn't know what he was even talking about. Why are we talking about Costco? But Costco coming in 2014, us probably getting a membership maybe 2016 or so. I get it. I am a Costco advocate myself. Love it. So we are going to be driving from our house, Southeast Fort Collins, to Timnath, Colorado, Costco, to get a lot of our grocery. So there is this one main artery that is kind of being a little bit hedged with County Road 5 being widened, and kind of those little other arteries going north and south being addressed to provide relief from that Harmony corridor. And our second to last pro number 4, is again kind of leveraging off of that new concept. Well, there's these new developments, and a lot of these families that are moving here to northern Colorado want these new development amenities. The pools that are kind of like play parks. They've got slides and baby pools and splash pads and sitting areas and playgrounds and walking areas and walking paths. These developments are hitting on what people are wanting. And yes, they probably have a metro tax, which I do not include as a pro. It's just a way of life. If you're moving into Timnath, Colorado, you are probably going to have a metro tax. But these metro tax districts, they are building these developments that allow for really this community involvement, and you not necessarily have to move or leave your house. If you're going to be living on the outskirts, you don't want to necessarily have to always go travel to the pools. So you've got them in your development. So you've got these newer developments, again, you know, Timnath Ranch, Trailside, Wild Wing, Harmony Club, Timnath Lakes, lots of different areas that these developments are really hitting on a lot of the cool amenities that people want in their developments. So definitely that is a pro number 4, new developments, what everyone wants. Which con number 4, all this growth, how are we going to manage it? How is Timnath going to manage it? Again, as I joked about living in Timnath, Colorado video, go talk to the mayor, see what he's going to do. Make sure you get some good answers. But otherwise, this growth in Timnath, it's expected to get up to 25 to 30,000 people in the next 20 to 25 years. What is this community going to do to manage that? How are they going to bring the commercial? What are they going to do with the taxes, property taxes, all these different things that are vital to a fledgling town in Timnath, Colorado. So con number 4, the growth. It is exponential. So good luck, Mayor of Timnath, and good luck, Town of Timnath, on how to handle such explosive growth. Now, the last pro and last con, which I knew you guys were waiting for, is pro number 5, is being a part of something new. I just had lunch with a buddy who is doing business in Windsor, Colorado, and is so pumped to be a part of something so new and growing with the Chamber of Commerce. Actually, the person who is in charge of the chamber is doing a phenomenal job in Windsor, and hopefully Timnath isn't too far behind. Now there's still a long ways to go for this community to have a chamber of commerce or the need for a chamber of commerce, but it's coming and commercial will follow. So you could be kind of on a ground floor of shaping a beautiful, vibrant community. So pro number 5 is being on the ground floor of a community that's definitely going to be growing like crazy. Which, the final con, and one thing that I think people definitely have to take into consideration if they are considering moving to Timnath, Colorado, is the price of homes. You are not getting a discount moving out of Fort Collins and into the bedroom community that is Timnath, Colorado. The median price as of September 2021 in Timnath, Colorado is just about $635,000 comparatively to $545,000 in Fort Collins, Colorado. Now, you are getting more house, one more car garage, newer, all that good stuff moving to Timnath, Colorado, but do not expect a discount moving to Timnath, Colorado. You will get a discount on the price per square foot, so you'll get a better value moving to Timnath, but you will be paying more for that value. So con number 5, the price of a home in Timnath, Colorado. So there you have it, folks. The 5 pros, 5 cons of living in Timnath, Colorado. I did not think I was going to be doing a video on this small community, but there were so many people that I was working with that when you were in Fort Collins, it's just such a natural progression to have that conversation of, well, what the heck is Timnath, Colorado? It may never even be on your radar until you get here and maybe start talking to others that are living in Timnath, Colorado or considering Timnath, Colorado. So I felt it was important for you guys, if you are looking at living in Northern Colorado and specifically Fort Collins, to understand a little bit more about what the pros and cons are of this small community that is growing in exponential ways. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, guys, take care.